I continue to say the master of good timing, the master of good timing, the beneficiary of the best timing in the history of the sport is Conor McGregor. And I'm telling you, we told you about the meeting 2 weeks ago. I told you it went well. PT told you it went well. At this point, I think it would be safe to say that it would be a disastrous situation. Something disastrous would have had to have happened if he's not fighting on July 11th. They need this now more than ever. They need Conor McGregor to be on this card. They need the posts, they need the social, they need all of that. They need people talking, they need people getting excited. They need this guy now more than ever, and they have to do everything in their power to make this happen.
Conor McGregor is coming back. Guys, I'm very confident of this. I spoke to Conor myself. Adi Atara went and had a meeting, a face-to-face sit-down with the UFC, because it got to the point where Conor's side is saying, hey, do you guys not think we're serious? Or is it you guys aren't serious? There's a little confusion here over the telephone. Let's talk, right? Conor, any great company, they will stick to that promise in good times and in bad. When you're selling out arenas, when COVID hits and you can't do it in front of everybody, you got to stick to that promise. And the UFC does now. McGregor is in a very unique spot because of the success that he has previously had. We are questioning how good is Conor today. We're questioning how good can he be today. He's coming off a catastrophic injury. Many people question how good he is, but we've got to operate under the assumption that he's pretty damn good, considering he won an interim and undisputed and went 30 minutes with Floyd. Like, we have to assume, based on what he's done, Conor versus Chandler, and it breaks my heart that this isn't getting done, largely just on a personal level to see like what Chandler went through. And Conor himself, I got to give him credit, has tried to keep that media tour. They had a back and forth that turned personal. They did The Ultimate Fighter, which to this day has been the greatest marketing vehicle in the history of our industry, not just the company. That was supposed to be the payoff. The problem is 2.5 years is step one. That's where Chandler does not become the perfect opponent, because Chandler, we also don't know how many miles promised, and we're going to bring in Conor McGregor, who we identify as very good. And by the way, we do know to be a main eventer. You could choose, by the way, guys, I'm going to say 1 through 6. You could even go 1 through 8. Pick anybody you want to do. Della Lena makes a lot of sense. I think that Ian Gary was more than a Freudian slip. I think that there's some real traction and some real legs to that. I don't think the idea of Islam and title fights is going to happen. I don't believe that Max is likely to be put into a spot, and I'll use Anderson Silva as a great example, who is the best fighter in the world, the champion of the world, had the exact same catastrophic leg injury, attempted to make a comeback. And it was an interesting position because Anderson was great, and Anderson had the rankings, and he had the name, he had the meaning, and he was a main event guy.
The rumors are over. Conor McGregor is officially coming back. And every single fighter in the top 10 just got put on notice because this isn't going to be some tune-up fight against a nobody.
So they paid Anderson all those same respects, and they kept him as a main event in his last fight. Just to remind you, instead of being in front of a sold-out Mandalay Bay or a record-setting MGM crowd like he was.
Here's what's got everyone terrified. The UFC isn't looking at Michael Chandler anymore. They're talking about throwing Conor straight into the deep end against killers like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, or Charles Oliveira right off the bat.
But they kept him as a main event, and they put him with a killer known as Uriah Hall, and that was kind of used to elevate Uriah. If Anderson could have stood his ground and he could have found a way to win, he could return to that same spot and he could continue to be a main event over there.
And get this, Conor doesn't want an easy comeback fight. He's actively asking for the hardest possible matchup. The man's been out for years with a broken leg, and he's demanding to fight murderers in the top 8.
That's very similar with Conor. I believe he's going to get dealt from the bottom of the deck, but I think you have to. I think the only way that you could justify it is to give somebody else an opportunity to take it all. It's the ultimate poker hand at all times in MMA. Whatever you got, you are.
But here's the kicker. 6 years away from the octagon is an absolute eternity in this sport. Entire careers have risen and fallen in that time. Yet everyone's still operating under one terrifying assumption: he's still pretty damn good.
I promise. He's willing to fight Chandler. He would like to pay that off. Red Panty Night's still real. He made a agreement with Chandler, did his best to give it to him. I think there's legs to Ian Gary. My partner's thrown out JDM. I don't hate that idea. I think the idea of you take anybody 1 through 8, 1 through 6, and you grab any one of them, right? Like, that's still McGregor. He's got to prove that he can stand his ground or he can't. And if he can't, then that passes to somebody else. But that's the way that this is going to be played. It's not all of a sudden going to get switched into, all right, we're going to have fun.
Listen to this part. The UFC's brand promise means Conor gets an automatic main event slot no matter what. That's prime real estate taken away from every other contender who's been grinding for years waiting for their shot.
And he's made his own demands, by the way. He wants harder fights. He don't want to go to 55. He wants to stay at 70. He don't want to cut weight. He's willing to go to 85.
Now here's where it gets wild. They're not just talking lightweight anymore. Conor wants to stay at 170 or even move up to 185 pounds. He's literally hunting for bigger, stronger opponents because he doesn't care about the challenge.
This thing, and one of the reasons that Conor gained so much sincerity and credibility with me is he didn't even care about the weight. He just wanted to compete. So I'm just sharing with you, if you're attempting to guess and Conor's coming back, you're going to get McGregor and you're going to get...
The Anderson-Silva comparison is absolutely chilling. Silva came back from the exact same leg injury and they stuck him on a fight night card at the Apex. Not pay-per-view, not a stadium, a regular Tuesday night card.
Are you going to get a career? It's real simple. It's real simple for Team McGregor. In this next fight, forget about the ticket sales, forget about the ratings. In this next fight, Conor McGregor...
But wait, it gets worse for these fighters. This isn't about money for Conor anymore. He's coming back with that pure warrior mentality, ready to gamble his entire legacy against the sport's elite just to prove he can still stand. Hold up, did you catch what just happened? The commentator just said we're getting an announcement way sooner than anyone thinks. This comeback isn't some distant possibility. It's happening now. Here's what nobody's talking about. Every fighter in that top 8 knows this is the ultimate high-risk, high-reward scenario. Beat Conor and you become a legend overnight. Lose and you're just another highlight on his comeback reel. You know what's insane? He's not even worried about weight cuts anymore. Conor's willing to fight anyone, anywhere, at any weight. That's not the mindset of someone looking for easy money. That's a man with something to prove. So there you have it. The notorious one is back. He's hunting for killers and he doesn't care about playing it safe. This isn't just about one fight. This is about whether a legend can truly rise from the ashes or if someone's about to end his story forever. Who do you think deserves to be the one standing across from him? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening, smash that like button and subscribe because this comeback is about to shake up the entire sport. I'll see you in the next one.